Hello everyone, and thank you guys for tuning back into another video. So you can see that we had a pretty good week today. We started off the week around $231 and some change, and we ended the week just $2.50 shy off my goal, which was to end the week over 2,500, which was equivalent to just around 12%. You see, we got a 11.91% return this week. So even though I missed my weekly goal by $2.50, I'm still pretty happy. We basically did reach it, but it's always nice to see that 2,500 rather than 2,497. So that's pretty much it on that. But so what I'm going to be doing today is explaining two of the four trades that I took this week, and we're going to start off by explaining the trade on DIS. I also received a share of ZNGA, which was because I invited one of my friends to start investing, and he used my link code. So that's pretty much it on why we have that share. Not really a reason behind as to why I got that. It's random. But let's go ahead and explain my DIS trade. So what I ended up noticing on DIS trade, you can't really see it on this chart because Robinhood charts are not that good, but I'll go ahead and explain on my Thinkorswim in a bit. But what I saw was that every time Disney kept on reaching the 145, 146 area, it kept on getting rejected, and it would downtrend quite a bit. And you can see that that's exactly what happened on July 29th. It was topping out around the 146, 147 area, and then it started to downtrend. And what I ended up doing was I bought a 150 put. I actually bought two of them, and we bought them for a limit of we got filled at 3.70, and we ended up selling the same day for a $50 win at 3.95. I was actually up a lot more on this trade. I was up around $100, but I was actually doing something, so I wasn't able to monitor it the whole time, and that's why we had to settle for $50. $50 is still a pretty good return, and so there's nothing to complain about. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this trade. And I'm gonna go ahead and explain the other trade, which was on TSLA. And TSLA has been going up quite a bit on the weekly chart. And what I saw on it, I actually traded it the 30th, which was on Tuesday. I saw that it pre-market, it started gapping up a lot. It was trading right around the 235 area, and then it broke through the 235 resistance area, and it started making its way towards the 240. So what I was hoping to see was whether or not TSLA was going to be able to break over that 240 resistance area. And since it was getting rejected quite a bit, I decided to enter a put on it, and I was able to make a pretty good profit within a couple of minutes on this trade. I ended up buying a 240 put for $900. No, we actually bought two of them for $450 each, and we ended up selling a couple minutes later for at $490. So nice, easy $80 win on this one. But these are the first two of the four trades I took this week. Now I'm gonna go ahead and hop over to my Thinkorswim account and show you guys a little bit more in detail as why I took these trades. So the first trade that I took was on DIS, and what I noticed on DIS was that at the start of last week, it started uptrending. It was trading around the 140 area, and you can see it had this big uptrend going all the way into the weekend. It reached a high of 144. And then on Monday, pre-market it started gapping up even more, and then upon the opening bell on Monday, it gapped up all the way to a high of 147.15. And if you go ahead and switch over to the 5 days and 5 minutes, we will get a better look at why I decided to take a put position. So right here upon market open, it gapped up around the 146 area, so just below 147 it started to top out. It had a nice pullback, but once again it started to uptrend even more, and right here it was able to cross over the 147.15 area. However, these two candles where it did cross over, you can see it got up to 147.04, and then 147.15. Both of those candles have a relatively a small body and a long upper wick, which means that although the candles closed higher than the previous candle, there is a lot of rejection, and that is why they have a long upper wick. And so that led me to believe, like I said, that it was getting rejected from the 147.15 area. So that's where I decided to buy some puts, and you can see that after that rejection of the 147 area, it started to drop. It dropped as low as 146.50, so almost about 70 cents, and that's why I was able to profit quite a bit in a relatively short amount of time. On this trade, we definitely left some money on the table, because if we zoom out, we can see that after that it just started downtrending the rest of the week, getting as low as 141.70. So we did a really good job at nailing the top on this trade, because like I said, it just started downtrending after that. But overall, I'm pretty happy with this trade, because the technical analysis was spot on, and the trade went really good. So now I'm gonna go ahead over to the TSLA trade, and explain that one. So here we have the TSLA chart, and what I noticed was that after its earnings, it had a drop from 268 all the way down to 222, and so it started to form some pretty strong support at around the 222 area, because you can see that after hitting that low, it started to slowly rise back up, and slowly regain back everything that it lost after its earnings. And so what I noticed on Monday was that it had a pretty nice gap up from the 227 area all the way to 235.50. And so what I was hoping to originally was for it to have a small pullback, and hopefully be able to buy some puts when it reached that 235 area. So here, pre-market Tuesday, which was when I traded it, you can see that it had that pullback. It went as low as 231.7. So now what I was waiting for was for it to try to gap up back to 235 area and buy some puts. However, you can see that upon market open, it had a really strong move past the 235 area. It got as high as 237.47. So after it was able to cross the 235 area, I was looking for a new entry point, which is 240, because that 235 resistance got broken. So if you go ahead and switch over to the 5-day and 5-minute, we're going to get a better picture of it. Go back to, where was it, 30? It's over here. Yeah, Tuesday right here. So, like I said, Tuesday mornings had that pretty big gap up. It blew past that 235 resistance. So, after that, like I said, I was waiting for that 240. It didn't get, it wasn't able to pass 240. However, on this big green candle where it topped out, you can see that once again it had the similar pattern to what DIS was showing, which was the longer upper wick, which means that the TSLA was getting rejected at around the 240 area, which is why it wasn't able to cross over. So that to me meant that TSLA was going to drop, because it kept on getting rejected from the 240 area. So that's when I entered my puts, and you can see that after that rejection, we had a nice drop from the 239.65 area all the way down to 237.77. So almost a $2 move, and we were able to profit around $80 in a relatively short amount of time. So overall, this was a pretty good trade. And one thing that I always like to say is to never get greedy. Some people like trying to hold on for more profits, but we go ahead and zoom out and see how the play would have played out if we would have kept on longer to try to get more profits. We can see that TSLA actually ended up rebounding, and it ended up getting even higher, going all the way up to 246.68, and then it started coming back down to 234.34. So like I said, it's always better to take profits when you have them and not try to get greedy, because trades can go wrong very fast if you try to get greedy. But that's pretty much it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys in the next one.